Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because that's you guys, well, this just doesn't work. Well, guys, it looks like the offseason came early for us this year because it looks like things are beginning to get put in motion. The new planning for the next year is beginning. We've already heard speculation that some of our coordinators are definitely on the hot seat, from Scott Linehan and Wade Wilson, because of play calling. I mean, guys, I'm sorry. When you have first and goal on the 3 yard line and second and goal on the two, and you don't even try to run the ball, I'm sorry. You got to go. You got a Zeke Elliott who is back ready for vengeance, wanting to get 200 yards. The fact that you didn't give him an opportunity, more than 24 rushes, is just insane. The next person who looks like is on the chopping block, and I've been talking about this for quite a while, because as we start to get over our past mistakes, being over the salary cap and having to go into the offseason and restructure guys like Tony Romo over and over again, and Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford was a $10 million cap hit. Not that he's making that much money per season, but because we had to restructure his contract in order to sign other people. We're getting away from that whole thing. And the final big contract that's really left out there right now is Dez Bryant. That $70 million contract that he signed. And Jerry Jones is not committing anything on Dez Bryant right now. There's going to be guys that deserve a lot of money. But when you take up nearly 10% of the salary cap, you've got to have more than 10% of the team's production. You know, that's the kind of money that you start paying quarterbacks at, or game-changing players. And Dez Bryant has not been that game-changing player for a while. Dez Bryant makes spectacular plays. Don't get me wrong. But he also, too, has a tendency to check out sometimes. Got to give the dog some more water over here as soon as I'm done with the video. Dez Bryant has always dropped passes. Dez Bryant has always been an eruption on the sidelines. These are things that you get with Dez Bryant. But unfortunately, he leads the league right now in drops. He's become a distraction when, I understand you want to play, you want to be the game winner. But in the end, it's about winning. And it's a team sport. You can't have meltdowns on the sidelines, especially when you're making $16.5 million. Now, people will say, oh, just trade him. Let's get somebody great for him. Sorry. Right now, teams are looking at Dez Bryant and saying, okay, he's past his prime. I'll take him, but maybe not for $16.5 million. No, nobody's going to take on that contract. Your only hopes of trading him would be for him to say, I'll take a pay cut and redo my contract, and then you can trade me. But he's not going to do that. DeMarcus Ware didn't do that. DeMarco Murray didn't do that. Jason Hatcher didn't do that. Your career is short in the NFL. You're not taking pay cuts just because the team wants you to. So, more than likely, Dez Bryant will be a June 1st cap cut. Because then that way, you only end up with $4 million in dead money. You gain $12.5 million of cap space. And then you start looking at drafting a new number one, or possibly a free agent. But it's understandable that Jerry Jones is not committing on Dez Bryant being back. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You take that $12 million along with the 15 we have, and maybe you get a few more from Orlando Scandrick, maybe you get a few more, like 10 from Tyrone Crawford. All of a sudden now you got about $40 million to start taking care of, like a Zach Martin, and look at bringing in some game-changing free agents to help it with depth and maybe a game changer. So this Sunday coming up may be the last time we see Dez Bryant in a Dallas Cowboy uniform. remember, friends, it's not like the old days before free agency, before there was a cap. You only have X number of dollars to pay guys. It's just a fact. So it looks like it's going to still be pretty busy around here because you can't sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. They're always making news where nobody else is. I'm Mark Holmes.